Welcome back to another episode, everyone. This is the second episode of Angels Within, and today we are going to be talking about what are the angels? What are they? They are extremely complex for me to even wrap my head around how to explain them. But when I asked how to describe them and what I could say to help others understand what they are, the answer was that they are codes. So as it was said to me, it was as if I immediately understood. But when I went to just jot down some notes for this episode, it got really confusing. So I hope I can do this justice in explaining this. And I'm not a very techie person, so my first thought was codes. I don't understand anything about coding other than the fact that you put a sequence of instructions, like cues, into the computer, and then the outcome will always be the same. The computer will know how to basically process those instructions into an action. And so when I think of codes with the angels, what I understood was that when we decide that we are going to become human and we are going to embody a specific type of personality, place that we're born, how we're going to develop, we have this plan of how we will then express ourselves as God consciousness, right? And in order to do that, we almost need to program ourselves into a specific type of character. And I feel like this is getting a little bit video gamey, but if you just hear me out, it actually makes a lot of sense when you use that metaphor. So when we come onto the planet and we're in our mother's womb, and even before that, we're just deciding, what do I want to learn this lifetime? Who do I want to be? What do I want to accomplish? How do I want to interact with humanity and the earth realm, the matrix of the earth? We create these codes for the lessons we'll learn, how we'll react to them, all the choices we'll have to make. And so these codes are almost like wires of communication back to the source, right? Back to the great spirit programmer, the creative consciousness, the creator consciousness. And when we have those codes, we want to always be in communication, like pure communication with that, so that we can fulfill this desire that we wanted to come here and embody the creator's love here. In order to do that, the coding has to be a clear channel to really truly come here and express ourselves the way that we want, and the way that is for the highest good of not only ourselves, but for the entire interactive matrix that we're a part of. When those codes are coming in and backing out, that is the angelic realm. That is what the angels are. That is their purpose, is to be those codes. So when the angels say, we're always with you, call us and we will show up immediately, that's because there's so much already a part of who we are, this genetic makeup of becoming a human. So the flower of life, when it's forming, is the most perfect birth of life, right? And each petal spirals out at exactly the perfect time with another one and then another one in this amazing pattern. You can imagine that each flower petal coming out, spiraling out, is the angelic realm, is a code being formed within life. So you can even understand that everything that you see, part of this earth realm, part of this physical manifestation, has angels, has an angelic realm to it. I drew a little diagram of this. It starts off with the void, which is the creator consciousness. The void is like the silky black aliveness of the creator, where there is nothing, but there's the potential for everything. And then you have what I like to call the divine mother, which is the creative consciousness, which is the ability to take that potential from the void and create it and birth it into something. And so I also like to think of this as the astral realm, where we get to do our programming in our purest state as our highest self and say, you know, last lifetime, I didn't get it right. This lifetime, I'd really like to embody myself as Monica, a Black woman living in the United States. So I have these experiences and I can learn these things. So that's like the astral realm. That's the divine feminine realm, where we are in the womb of the creator, you know, kind of encoding ourselves with our next mission. And so then we are birthed into the Christ consciousness, which is whatever we manifest as, the Monica in the United States, or the so-and-so on planet X. Like whatever we manifest into, we then get to decide we're going to embody this wholeheartedly, and we kind of forget the other part. We forget when we programmed, we forget the void. We start off as babies, at least on planet Earth. That's how we begin. And then as babies, we are in the womb, and this is where the angels kind of began with me. This idea of being in the womb. In the womb, we have this opportunity to come in with that angelic realm already ready to go. But as we grow up and different things happen, it's almost like different aspects of our angelic realm are shut down, or some are more open than others. And this is where I compare them to the chakra system. And I also have a little diagram PDF of that I will attach, because it's really helpful, at least for me, to have a visual understanding of each angel and how they work with our code, our code as a Christ consciousness human being form. We are this perfect form. When we come here, we are already embodied in our creator consciousness. But of course, our codes, you know, maybe we want to be born with a deformity. And that deformity doesn't mean we're not perfect, doesn't mean we're not still in our Christ consciousness. It just means that we chose this type of coding to have this type of way that we're going to interact with our physical existence in the matrix, in this earth realm. And this is, again, my personal belief, but I believe that then part of our soul growth, like part of our soul's purpose of choosing that particular way that we want to be born, is so that we can overcome certain trials and gain strength in who we are, all just to self-realize once again, all just to say again, at the end of our life, whenever, however long it was, we say, wow, all right, what an amazing journey. How much I just appreciate being here and having a chance to be part of this matrix, be part of this earth story. And that sense of gratitude for living and for life is the key. It is the key for so much to unlock within our consciousness, for so much to just return to wholeness. And that is a big message the angels always share with me, is to turn my attention to gratitude, especially in times when it feels like a self-programming is giving me doubt or fear or just negativity, to turn my direction to gratitude. And I know that can sound cliche, like, what are you thankful for? Even though your life is crumbling, be thankful. But it really is more so, all right, my life is crumbling, but I'm so thankful for the journey that I'm on, because I know I'll come out of it. It's really turning yourself to faith, to having faith that everything will be the way that it's supposed to be for the highest good. So when we imagine the angelic realm as these perfect ways that we can communicate with all of the realms, the void, the divine feminine, I guess we can call it just the astral realm, the womb of the creation, and then the Christ manifestation as a being of light in physical reality. When we think of the angels connecting all of these three things and keeping us in communication, aiding us on this mission, helping us remember who we are, despite, the matrix feeling overwhelming and we feel defeated at times, the angelic realm is so good at keeping us aligned and keeping us on track and helping us remember our faith by showing us little miracles or giving us signs. And I'm going to go into a whole episode of how they do this and how to understand the signs that they give us and why it's so important to understand your specific angelic language, because everyone has different relationships with God. And so your language of receiving even your messages from your angels is going to be a little bit different than mine. And you're going to perceive them different. So some people may see angels physically or in their mind's eye. Some may just experience them as a presence that they feel. And I'll save all of that for another episode too, because I don't want these episodes to be too long, since I feel like I can ramble on forever. But yes, you're going to perceive your angel messages and the communication from them also very differently than maybe I do. And there is no method, there's no specific method to find your communication with them. It really is just however you'll turn within. And I never want it to feel like this is something special that I can do and no one else can do. Of course, everyone can do this. Kids do this all the time. I feel like children are the perfect example of being aligned to their angelic realm and having still that openness to what they experience, the communication, their mission here. And hopefully they can keep it as long as possible, and parents can help with that. But of course, the longer you're in the matrix, the harder it is to remember who you are, especially if you're falling into the norm of the matrix. And I'll save that for a whole nother episode too. The angels keep us activated. They are your intuition, you could say. So your intuition is this amazing gift from God of how to perceive. So it's that sixth sense that we can perceive something without using our body senses. It's our way of hearing the voice of God. It's our way of hearing what we need to do, what's right or wrong. It's our compass, your inner compass, your intuition, your angelic realm. That is all the same thing. And whether or not you need to hear it as angels, maybe you don't believe in angels, maybe the whole idea of angels isn't even necessary for you. That's okay too, because you still have this intuition, you still have this way of staying aligned to your want to come here and your need to come here to evolve. And that intuition is constantly trying to talk to you and steer you into staying true to that, staying authentic to who you are, not this version of yourself that you believe yourself to be, the Monica on planet Earth in the United States, but instead this higher connection to Creator, this Creator consciousness, this higher self that I know myself, my authentic self to be. That's pretty much what I wanted to say this episode. And just a simplified way of understanding this is that these codes, these angelic codes that we all have within us, they just keep the light on so that we don't fall into too much of the darkness of being in the physical form. Because, and by darkness, I don't mean that this is a world full of darkness, but there is a lot that weighs on us the longer that we are in the matrix of the earth realm. And I say the matrix in a very respectful way, not in a way that downplays this amazing experience that we have by being on planet Earth. It's an amazing opportunity for growth. And if you're watching this, you've chosen this matrix with excitement to be here. So we can either play into the understanding that it's a beautiful opportunity to completely embody that Christ consciousness and live with that light within us and responding to the world, like all the darkness that does happen here, responding to it with that consciousness. Or we can be completely overwhelmed by it and separate ourselves even more from the wholeness that this is. And so I hope you can remember that you have teammates. You have the angelic realm, whether you understand them as energy centers in your body or simply your intuition, or it's helpful to understand them as angels. You're not alone in the efforts to get you through it, to help you realize who you are. You're a part of an entire loving community of other beings doing the same thing as you. So they are part of you. We are part of the same beehive, and we're working together to feed into each other with love. You know, we're working together to completely raise each other up. And it may not look like it at all times, but if you live in that awareness, I promise you, you will start raising up the vibration around you and bringing more and more and more onto your plate of that same energy. And working with the angels, working with your centers of your body, asking for a stronger intuitive sensitivity to, you know, the communication with the Creator, prayer, and meditation. All of these things are so helpful in order to stay connected and not feel alone in this. So I hope that explains a little bit of how I perceive the angels, and I will see you on the next episode.